Hello and welcome to another Monday Night MegaMek. We are back with the Emerald Cast Mercenaries as they continue on their mission to complete a contract with every house, every great house in the Inner Sphere. We are currently working under the Draconis Combine, raiding the Federated Suns. Before we begin, I'd like to give everybody a update on our co-host here. This is Cheddar. She's currently napping behind me, and here she is from earlier today. We have a lot of snow up here in New York, and it was up to her belly. She was running around. She loved it. She would basically take a couple of steps, dip her head down, eat some snow, and continue on. So she should be all set, but if she bugs me and needs a walkies right in the middle of something, well, that's just what happens when you've got a senior puppy. All right. We are going to pick right back up here. I actually forgot to load the gifts for what we did last time, but it was quite simply a real quick deep raid and an irregular force assault. The deep raid was, if I remember correctly, destroying an enemy. Yeah, Federated Suns dropship. I think we killed it right off the bat, and then just sort of moved on. Irregular force assault. It was the exact same map as the first irregular force assault that we played, and very similar, but we made it through. Now, we did take some damage here. In particular, Ergun, our commander, our leader, took some damage. Oh, there's Cheddar. You can kind of see her in the corner right there. Just a sleepy puppy. Oh, cool. Something I just realized, we know our character's blood types. Their gun is O positive. And we can flip through some of these here. Lots of O positives. Arso, Grace, Irgun, Camille. An unusual number of O positives. Interesting. Now it is saying I'm disconnected from chat for some reason. There we go. Now I'm connected. Magnificent looking dog. Thank you. Yeah, her name is Cheddar. She's a sweetie. All right, so we're going to get right off the bat here into the repair bay and see what happens here. So we do have, I did run the instant mass repair, but some stuff didn't, ooh, status inoperable. Interesting. Damaged, undamaged. So we're just missing ammo that we don't have in stock, and the Warhammer is relatively damaged. What Crusader is this that is inoperable? I'm curious why it says that. Is it still in the area of operations? That might be it. Let's continue here. I don't think there's anything we need to do to advance the day. That work? There we go. There are 2 parts that are not being worked on in 1 unit. Yeah. Still says inoperable. Target number 11. This is on extra time. Interesting. 5 veteran, 3 difficulty. Because it's in the field workshop. Well. Ooh. Lots of stuff just happened here. Repair log. Oh, there we go. Technical, politics, skill checks, acquisitions, finances, medical, personnel, battle, general. We'll leave it on general here. Nobody wants to leave unit. Great. Morale update. The enemy is gaining momentum, making coordinated strikes, and allied forces are falling back. The enemy is beginning to dominate key areas of the battlefield. What? The enemy reliability is +0. Your performance over the past month was rated as a decisive victory +2. Rolled 12. Rolled 14. 12 +2. The enemy forces are wavering. Understood. Okay. Unit market update. Enemy condition is advancing on contract. Yada. Enemy is gaining momentum. Special event betrayal. Employer minor breach. False intelligence. Next week battle type rolls get a -10 modifier. Interesting. Captain, employer is a delivery ready for us, was offered to expand with Conspire convoys. Yes, use our convoy because we have one. Alright, we want balance. We're fine. Yay, we need AC-20 ammo. And anything in parentheses, not parentheses, anything in italics is kind of fluff, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But yeah, we'll do. Oh gosh. That is a startlingly shocked face to just suddenly just jump off. Your convoy has been intercepted and a special crisis scenario has been generated. Refusing to fight this game would result in the loss of the convoy and its contents. Okay. Well, it's not letting me click on anything. Alright, I can move the window. Give me 1 second. Alright, there it is. We're back. It bugged out, I think, while it was generating the scenario here. So we go to the area of operations. Emergency convoy defense. Our convoy is there. So we've got two things popping up. So this is where we might end up sending our training lance out, right? We have 2 awesomes, a Phoenix Hawk, and a Wyvern. Our command lance air gun is still sort of out of commission. This is the point where we should send... Ooh, manage reinforcements. Scenario, status, primary forces committed, terrain, deployment date, hostile BV, allied BV, select performance in the list below. Okay, commit. Captain, I've had the computer break down our likelihood of success. We really should hire specialists for this kind of thing. Base target number 7, administrative skill 0, enemy morale 1, enemy skill modifier 1, additional support point 0, target number 9. Okay, how many support points do we have? Well, let me say. Alright, well, boom. There we go. We'll spend 2. Reinforce instantly. This is a curiosity. Having an intelligence analyst, military analyst, military theorist, or tactical analyst employed by the unit will give more reliable results. This is an RP effect only. Reinforcing costs 1 support point per reinforcing combat team and a check using the above target number. If the check is failed, your reinforcements may be intercepted. If an interception attempt is made, the commander of your reinforcements will need to make a tactic skill check to evade the interception. Okay. You can improve the chance of your attempt succeed. You can improve the chances your attempt succeeds by changing the reinforcing unit to the auxiliary maneuver combat roles or by paying additional support points. Each additional batch of support points reduces target number by 2. If the situation is truly dire, you can choose to reinforce instantly. This doubles all support points paid and may take you into negative support points. If reinforcing using an option marked GM, the reinforced attempt is both free and automatically succeeds. Okay, so we're not going to GM it. We are going to reinforce it on target number 5. Heyo. Alright, so we have this crisis here. This is one of the first times our training cadre is going to be used, so I'll put up the pause screen to start the scenario. Oh, Hold on. Your ground convoy is being cornered by aggressive enemy elements, intent on cutting off your supplies and crippling our logistics. The convoy is carrying essential resources for your operations, and its loss would be a severe blow. Your primary objective is to ensure the convoy reaches the opposite edge of the engagement zone while simultaneously routing the enemy by destroying at least 50% of their forces. The enemy is executing a relentless pursuit, attempting to isolate and destroy the convoy before it can escape. If they are not routed here, they will continue striking at our logistics, inflicting immeasurable damage over time. Prioritize extracting the convoy, but if necessary, sacrificing supplies is acceptable. It means crushing the enemy force beyond recovery. We will control the battlefield at the end of the engagement, ensuring that any remaining salvage or assets fall into our hands. This battle is about more than just one convoy. It's about securing the future of our supply lines. Break through, break them, and ensure they never threaten our logistics again. Spaceport. Local coordination has allowed the opposition to deploy a larger force to respond to your presence. If only we had the ability to scout ourselves to find that spaceport. Industrial center. Intel on the Op4 indicates a larger, more well-equipped force. Again, they have things in the theater of battle, the mission brief, that I wish we could find. But here we go. Commence drop. Huh. Interesting. See it load. Alright, so the main thing I want to check is that we have control of our convoy. And we do. Because normally when you're running a convoy thing for your employer, you don't necessarily have control. But this is our convoy. These are our people. So we're going to take control. And this shouldn't be too hard because we out-BV them by a lot. But an important thing to check is, if you look, the Awesome, the Wyvern, the Phoenix Hawk, the other Awesome, they started around 8. And they're starting on the edge. Any edge we want, so that's nice. We have the Phoenix Hawk and the Warhammer starting on the south along with us. Oh boy. Alright, this is going to be interesting. Let's load this up. Alright, we don't need the nameplate there. We don't need this little thing here. So everybody who's been around a bit, like, if you'll notice in the upper right hand corner, there is all of those little images representing the units. When we're playing with our main crew, I have the little nameplate and the display capture that zooms in so you guys can more easily see at home the individual sort of, health status of all of the units. But we're not playing with our main crew right now, and I don't have a secondary nameplate. Also, one second here. We do not need let's do blue. There we go. I don't know. What am I talking about? We gotta do green. We gotta do green background. Alright. Here we are. Round report. Got it. We are... Alright. We are deploying south. So their Banshee, the Sanctum, 3-4 is up there. We deploy down here. Okay, the Phoenix Hawk paperweight. Now the question is, do we split? I kind of like the idea of keeping these guys on the roads. I mean, they are hovercraft, so they don't necessarily even care. So I think we'll split. No, convoy would stick together. Oh boy, this thing moves fast. Alright, because we are on a low gravity planet. So we are normally in 8-12. So let's just move 12 in a straight line forward. Although, let's take a look at the MASH truck first. The MASH truck, alright, it's a 5.8 currently a 6-9, skill of 5. So we are just going to move those 8 hexes. Alright, what is Paperweight? Paperweight the Phoenix Hawk is a 3-4. That is sort of a primary concern here. You have to check what guns are in the turret, because the turret can shoot in any direction. We have a machine gun and an SRM-6, which means... Now it's jumped. So gun rate 3 plus the modifier for jumping is base 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we move into that position... Now, mind you, vehicles that make turns while moving at cruising speed, or flanking speed, is that technical. So flanking speed is like running for mechs. So you have over here movement 8-12, cruising speed is 8, flanking speed is 12. If you move at flanking speed and turn, you have to make a piloting roll. But thankfully right now our cruising speed is actually 10, so we might be able to do something a little tricky here. Okay, I'm supposed to get just a little closer. Right, now we move like this, so we're going to be right next to him. And we can actually shoot and try to be a primary target. Yeah, no, we don't. Or... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. And you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also perfect. Alright, so we want... Interesting thing about vehicles is they pay for all of their heat sinks. So they don't actually, all it says heat buildup 999. They have to pay for... D. Townsend says, piloting checks can create some wild wrecks. Yes. And we're really trying to avoid that, because if these guys slid into this level 3 cliff, they're dead. They'll just die right off the bat. So, alright. Oh yeah, right side no, left side no. Machine guns. There we go. Alright, we're gonna alpha strike with everything we can. Right into Paperweight. Done. Ooh, we have lasers in a turret. So this is kind of fun. If you hold shift WASD, you can change orientation. So the mech, you know, the A and the D are normally your torso twist, but because this thing is a turret, I can just spin it around like a little top toy. But anyway, small lasers, fire, alpha strike, boom. Oh, gross. Okay, Warhammer, Roundup. PPC at maximum hover heavy transport. Needs 7, roll 7, hits. Left side table. Chance for bonus is a half MP. Second PPC needs 7, rolls 8, it hits. Also on the left side, 0 hour remaining, vehicle immobile. Okay, great. First turn, guy needs 7, rolls 7, 97 rolls 8. 7 is about a 50% chance, so we are below average statistics. And oh look, nasty little rolls for critical checks. So yeah, we've basically lost a hover transport, but that also means we may have saved the mass truck. However, so the Phoenix Hawk machine gun hits the turret on a critical, and the turret is locked, which means it can't rotate the turret anymore. Maximum transport needs 9, rolls 9. Hits for the machine gun. Bunch of misses. And mass truck misses. So yeah, okay. Great. So we've pretty much guaranteed that we've lost this Maxim. But thankfully we have more. Alright. Get the hell out of there. You know, if we're going in a straight line, it's nothing ahead. If you fail your roll and you skid in the direction that you're going. We don't care if we skid in a straight line right now. So let's try this. Zoom. Alright, the immobile guy, he's immobile. Can't do anything. Skip. Mash truck. Same for you. Go in a straight line. See what happens. Everyone succeeds. Now, they are going to try shooting, for the most part, at the immobile target, except for roundup here, probably because lack of line of sight due to the terrain. So, PPCs at the mash truck. Let's hope this isn't a repeat of the next turn. We can't turn around and fire anything, so skip. Yep, can't. Turret is locked. All we can try to do is shoot roundup here with everything we possibly can. So alpha strike, and we're done. Yeah, mash truck still has its lasers on a turret, but there's nothing in range. However, I can spin it around. Woo! Skip firing. Let's see what happens. PPC needs 12, rolls 8, misses. Thankfully. And we have a few little hits at the Warhammer, but they don't really do much of anything. So done. And major damage vehicle mobile. Yeah, that heavy transport is basically done with. Those lucky crits. I actually can't say they're all that lucky because that's just what happens with vehicles. Alright, so now we actually have to be careful because I think if it does a side slip and runs off the map, that it might just die. But we're far enough out of range that I'm not overly concerned. And that kind of puts us pretty much out of line of sight. Yeah. That definitely does. Move. Yep. Alright, we're good. Majority of our units are gonna make it out. We just lost this guy due to I can't say lucky crit. Vehicles just kind of disappear if you touch them. It's what happens in BattleTech. Yep. And destroyed immobile. Yeah, that transport is destroyed. There it is. But alright, we have a few more turns before our reinforcements get here, can take care of these raiders. But we're gonna move there, and we are looking for the flee button. Do you want to flee? Yes. Boom. And same deal. Move there, yes. So there's a fun thing that can happen. We're in round 5. The mass truck is going to escape right now. And we're just going to sort of auto blitz by default through a whole bunch of turns. Oh, we can't go through there, but we can do that. Flee. Yes. So now we have no units on the board. So we're going to just click the done button a whole bunch of times as Princess moves herself around. And we wait for the reinforcements to arrive. And they arrive anywhere they want on the edge of the map. It's going to be right here. I mean, they can't really move down, so that's not actually. I like the idea of so 6, 5, 3. They can descend down. Okay, yep. Ooh, why is it not letting me deploy? Here we go. Just put the awesomes on a hill. Because we can. And then just, yeah, skip movement. Skip movement. 5. This is Grace 4, 5. Yeah, we're doing it. She's risking it. She's doing the jump. Phoenix Hawk, however, is going to make that run. Yes. Boom. All right, we're gonna actually start with the awesomes, and we're gonna alpha strike 2 full awesomes into that Warhammer because that guy killed our peeps, killed our convoy, killed the reinforcements. That was ammo. That was Jeff. And we're definitely gonna overheat with this guy if we alpha everything. And we don't want to alpha thing because we're shooting on 9s anyway, so we will do that. Now this Phoenix Hawk will large laser, medium laser. Done. There we go. Hit with PPCs. Our awesome gets hit by 2 PPCs. That's not awesome, but we don't care that much because they're just bricks of armor. And look, more PPCs into the Warhammer, and the Warhammer doesn't like it. We've broken through armor already on the right torso. We've stripped the armor off the right arm, so it's not going to hold up. Their Phoenix Hawk shoots our Phoenix Hawk, deals some damage, but no, lots of armor remaining on all the locations. We get a pilot hit from our Wyvern. Our Phoenix Hawk hits back. And yeah, their Banshee makes some pot shots. There we go. And physicals. We're going to kick. Of course we're going to kick. 2 kicks. We miss. They hit. We get 2 PSRs and we succeed on both. Alright. Keep them going, keep them going. Easiest move. We have awesomes on hills. So they're just not going to move. Oops. I put the Wyvern to stand still. I thought I clicked on the awesome. There's no undo button. There is no undo button. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're doing it. Oh, we got a skid. Boom, prone. Oh well. Alright, Wyvern. You are gonna do that. And go for heat. You're gonna do that. Phoenix Hawk, whatever's in your right arm is gonna shoot into the rear there. You're done. Now it's the awesomes. Obviously. We want to get rid of that Warhammer. Alright. Warhammer hits with some stuff. We've got plenty of armor remaining. Wyvern hits with a large laser into the rear. 6 internal structure remaining. Well, not in the rear. This is a Wyvern in the large hit. Correction. I thought this was the shooting at the Banshee. So, a Wyvern shoots at the large laser at the Warhammer. Gets the right torso. 6 internal structure remaining. That's nice. Their Phoenix Hawk shoots the awesome. And, yeah, again, it's a brick of armor. Phoenix Hawk shoots the large laser. Needs 10. Rolls 6. Misses. The Banshee hits the Wyvern with a small laser. Oh, no. That's the Wyvern that stood still, by the way. Here we go. Left arm destroyed. Let's look at all of that damage. 10. Oh, PPC to the face on the Warhammer. No critical. But lost the left arm. Damage continued in the left torso. Machine gun destroyed. And some more damage, but not, sadly, in the left leg and left torso on the enemy Warhammer here. So not continuing the same sort of levels of punishment that we were hoping for, but that Warhammer is not doing well. Wyvern should be able to try for a punch on 6 into the paperweight. Paperweight, their enemy Phoenix Hawk hits on a kick, sadly. And we hit on a punch. Right back. Now let's not have our Wyvern stand still this time. We're still going to have the awesome stand still. Just got to make sure that we've selected our awesome. Skip movement. Select our awesome. Make sure we've selected our awesome. Skip movement. There we go. Alright, so the Phoenix Hawk is prone. And we want to have it move. Now you can't jump from prone. Jumping would be ideal. So let's go to the Wyvern. Let's jump. And where do we want to jump? We're going to jump down. And to go, can we go right here? Yeah, jump right behind Sanctum there. Boom. Phoenix Hawk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Let's do it. Yeah. All right, we are behind. We're gonna go high-low on damage. Perfect. And we're gonna Alpha Strike with everything we can. Gain some heat. 10 over into the rear of the Banshee. Done. Same thing. Phoenix Hawk. You're going to damage high-low. Alpha Strike everything into the rear of the Banshee. Alright, awesomes. They're up 4 heat. So we probably shouldn't triple PPC at this turn. But we will double PPC into him. And we can't shoot Sanctum or Paperweight, so sure, we'll double PPC. 4 more PPCs going into that Warhammer. It's not likely to live. Alright, Wyvern. Hits with one gun, the large laser into the right leg. Misses everything else. Our Phoenix Hawk. Alright, hitting with something. So 2 armor left on the right torso rear. We don't get a second hit with anything into that right torso, sadly. We just have a couple of hits on the right leg, left arm, and left arm. However, first awesome. Doc. Our awesome piloted by Doc is the first one to shoot, and we have a hit into the left leg. It goes internal, knocks out a heat sink. Second PPC also hits. Goes into the left arm, which is destroyed. Transfers the left torso. Now it's destroyed. Goes into the CTE and hits an engine. We are about to core that thing out. And it falls. Pilot takes 2 hits, still conscious. Needs 5, rolls 5. Alright. These guys are brazen enough to try and pull some bullcrap. Alright. Ooh, this Phoenix Hawk doesn't jump. I thought it could. Alright, Wyvern, jump up behind Sanctum there. That's what you want to do. I know it's just a short little jump, but you're also way overheated. Let's have the awesome stay still. They're coming after the Wyvern here. But that also means that they're out in the open, and both of our awesomes are doing great in terms of heat at the moment. So we are 1 over for heat, and we have one section that on this Banshee with 2 armor remaining. So we hit with a small laser, we breach. We hit with 2 shots of the necessary armor, we breach. Done. You can fire a large laser here into the rear of the other Phoenix Hawk from our Phoenix Hawk. See what that does. And now we have PPC. So Doc, your name is Doc. Your other friend in the PPC is called Wingman. I feel like it's appropriate to have Doc act as the main character and just kill that Warhammer. So 3 shots into that Warhammer. Done. Doc's fired. Wingman. As the Wingman, you can shoot now at a secondary target. So I think you should shoot at that Phoenix Hawk and just give it pain. So Banshee misses with a PPC and AC5. On our standing still awesomes. Needs 10 and 11. I don't know how. Does he just suck? Our Wyvern hits with a small laser into the right torso rear. Goes internal. No critical hit. But that's exactly what we were trying for. That's exactly what we wanted. And we got it. Alright, their Warhammer shoots at our Phoenix Hawk. Hits with a PPC and an SRM-6. But there's armor left in every location. We're low on the left arm on our Phoenix Hawk. And that's not good, but not... Don't actually care that much because I don't think there's anything in that left arm. Or if there is something, it's unimportant. Our Phoenix Hawk hits with a large laser into the rear of their Phoenix Hawk. However, it hits the left arm. We wanted rear torso. Their Phoenix Hawk hits their Wyvern with 2 machine guns. Oh no. And here we go. Doc. Doc destroys. Doc gets the damage through the core. Boom. Enemy Warhammer cord. And Wingman hits with 2 PPCs on the Phoenix Hawk. We have 1 armor remaining on the right torso and 5 armor remaining on the left leg. Paperweight falls. Paperweight the Phoenix Hawk. Now, this is extra funny because this is a jumping Phoenix Hawk named Paperweight. Clearly not good at jumping. And it doesn't matter because it falls, right arm destroyed. Fantastic. I mean, this was basically a sure thing because we had, I think, more than double their BV. But it does kind of feel good to just use our backup forces and kick butt. Alright, Sanctum is hiding. And we don't like that he's hiding. So we're going to jump our Wyvern right back into the rear of him. And Phoenix Hawk is also going to move into the rear. Paperweight might be running. And Warhammer's dead, so... Yeah, we're going to build up some more heat, and we're just going to have everybody, both awesomes, Alpha Strike into this sad Paperweight. Now, remember correctly, we don't actually have any salvage rights on this contract. The Draconis Combine gets all salvage. And, you know, we popped into that right torso rear. We are at 10 heat already. But I think we're good. Let's do that. 12 heat over. That's not enough for a war to risk an ammo explosion. And that is a ton of damage into the rear of that thing. Yeah. Alright. 2 PPCs. Heavy damage. Right torso destroyed. Into the center torso. So we got 2 PPCs hit. Center torso. Right torso destroyed. Now on Wingman, we have first PPC hit. Destroys the right torso. So that's... Yeah. Alright, right torso destroyed. Transfers to center torso. 5 are remaining. Second PPC from Wingman hits the right leg. Third PPC hits the right arm, which transfers right through into the center torso. Armor destroyed. Boom. And no critical hit, but we are doing great. Phoenix Hawk shooting the rear. Wyvern shooting the rear. Needs 9. Misses at everything. Needs 6s. Hits, but nothing hits the open rear torso, sadly. Alright, now... We're going to kick. And we miss, but we don't fall. Great. As usual, let's let the awesomes up here on a hill not move. Let's just let them not move. Geez, Sanctum. You just want us to shoot you in the rear. This Phoenix Hawk can just stay still and shoot it in the rear. And that's what's going to happen. And we're having walked forward 1 hex. We're already overheating on the Wyvern. 15 over. So let's not do the small laser. Let's do the SRM-6. There we go. 14 over. Done. Phoenix Hawk. We're overheating. We're doing it. We're shooting the stationary target in the rear. Doc, you're going to try to get the kill with 3 PPCs. I know that's 6 over, but 3 PPCs at a paperweight. Done firing. And now 2 PPCs from Wingman into Sanctum. Done. Here we go. Here we go. Wyvern hits with the SRM-6. So, you know, large laser hits the center torso rear. There's still tons of armor remaining there. But the SRM-6 hits the right torso rear. Critical. Double PPC gone. Yes. Alright. Phoenix Hawk does not continue the paint into any rear torso location. Banshee misses with its shots again. That Banshee somehow is struggling to hit a stationary awesome on a hill. Alright, Doc gets his second kill, destroys the Phoenix Hawk, and Wingman gets some damage into the Banshee. So it's just the Banshee left. Just the Banshee left. And we kick it. It doesn't fall. Done. Oh. Oh. Our Wyvern needs a 4+ to avoid a shutdown, rolls a 3. So sadly we do have an overheated mobile mech, but that does mean that we might have, yeah, that's the line there, which technically I think goes through here, on the line, off the line. So now we have Wingman to the rear, and Doc not quite in the rear, but on the left side. All right, shutdown movement skip. All right. Well, obviously can't do anything. And our Phoenix Hawk is... Can we Alpha Strike without getting a death heat? Yes, we can. And we're going to Alpha Strike with our awesomes yet again. Alright, the Banshee shooting on an immobile. Okay. That's why. Okay. +6 at short range for some reason. Alright, we need to look at this pilot. Range Master Extreme. Okay. This is This is the random opponent, right? This is Sanctum, a pilot of this Banshee, who is a 3/4, no generated face. Okay, random advantages. These are random SPAs. Jumping jack. Jumping jack means that when you jump, instead of taking the normal 3 penalty to shooting, I believe you take a 1 penalty to shooting. It's really, really good. Range Master. What Range Master does is it swaps out the range penalty for a range bracket with short range. So Range Master Long is really good most of the time because it swaps out the +4 penalty for long range with the +0 penalty for short range. But that also means anything at short range you're shooting at a +4. This automatically generated at Range Master Extreme. Now, we're not playing with extreme range brackets to begin with. So that's an optional role that extends all of the guns out to a 4th bracket that's at +6. So short is at +0, medium is at +2, long is at +4, extreme would be at +6. So this guy is really good in a range bracket that's optional and not enabled, and it instead is a +6 at short range with a PPC and an autocannon 5, weapons with considerable long range, or considerably, longer short range. So we have nothing to fear from this creature right now. Goodness, yeah. Short range of 6 for the IC5, short range of 6 for the PPC. This thing will not be able to hit anything. He missed an immobile target. Shooting on 10s on an immobile target is just silly. And we're going to kick it. There we go. Oh. Cheddar's up and drinking. I'm going to pop a ear off so I can hear her if she's whining for something. Hi, Tega. All right. Banshee falls. Takes damage to hip, foot, and hand. All right. I'm calling it victory. We don't need to murder that thing. There's no point in continuing. Where'd you poop? Pooped off your bed? You sat down not on your nice orthopedic bed? Okay. Alright. Do you want to declare that your side is currently battlefield? Yes. Alright, so total loss on the maximum heavy transport. Boo. Alright, we gotta shrink this. Fit in here. Alright. Killed in action. Ah, we should have had them eject, but we lost the heavy transport crew. Captured the Banshee guy. Who we are not gonna try and recruit at any point. Resupply. Mech left leg. Yeah, we got all those resupplies back. I don't know why it says we didn't, because we did. I'm gonna click that. Because 50% is definitely the truck, and I guess it's not 50% by BV, but that's kind of silly because the important thing is the cargo. So I'm gonna just click that. Done. Payout. Yeah, no. So if people die, sometimes you have to. Yeah, combat personnel who brought their units with them should be given a unit upon departure. If no unit of the appropriate weight class and technology is available, the retiree is compensated in funds. Any pilots with a final payout value of 0 have either been compensated with a unit that meets or exceeds their paid amount or are breaking their employment contract. They died, if I remember correctly. These people died. So, yeah, we're gonna payout. I mean, that's also not that much money, so I don't care. Okay. Boom. Sure, issue awards, issue awards. Alright, let's check the infirmary. We have Arso. This is the guy. Yep. There we go. Oh! Oh! Look at this. Prisoner Harry McFeetridge. Disemboweled. Abdominal burn. Left hand pelvic fracture. Oof. I don't know where these guys came from, but they are not happy. Okay. Continuing on. Oh yeah, that's right. We had another contract here. The recon evasion is... It's not letting me scroll all the way up. Oh, there we go. Okay. Great opportunity to gather critical intelligence on enemy opportunities by monitoring their movements. Your mission is to remain in position for the required duration, observing and collecting data on enemy activity while avoiding direct engagement. Yeah, those guys are having a real bad day. Goodness. The information gathered will be far more valuable than any destruction you could inflict. I mean... Anywhere of our presence, but discover they will spawn to open force, stealth and discretion are paramount. Okay, I don't necessarily know. Let's go to the area operations recon. All we have is our command unit with air gun, and I think air gun might end up actually sit this one out. Or what we do here actually Yeah, 'cause that might mess things up. Back home by Christmas, they said. Sure, boss. Like, it's time to murk. Yeah. Alright, so the 5th, we've got 2 days. I don't think Ergon's going to be healthy by then. So, but let's just see what the warning sign that pops up. Oh, look. Irregular force suppression. Another irregular force thing. Okay. But we have 2 missions literally in a row. That's annoying. Alright, well. That's today. I thought we deployed... Yeah, deployed a command lance. Confirm. Yep, done. And then... Alright, so we have no unassigned mech warriors. But we do have here Arso. Yeah, currently a 7-8 due to injury. So yeah, you're going to be removed. And we're going to have to send our training group to that second scenario here. Second mission. And start it up. So we have a rare opportunity to gather critical intelligence on enemy operations by monitoring their movements. Your mission is to remain in position for the required duration, observing and collecting data on enemy activity while avoiding direct engagement. The information you gather will be far more valuable than any destruction you inflict. So why? Sometimes with scenarios like this, or missions like this, if I have sort of a fast scout unit, I'll assign it to them, just do an auto victory, because it's kind of like a, you know, it just... You're scouting. You're a fast unit. There's not going to be able to catch you. Whatever. The problem, what I'm curious here is what it says here. The enemy is unaware of our presence, but if discovered, they will respond with overwhelming force. Stealth and discretion are paramount. How, is that actually implemented with Princess? Does Princess not know where we are? We'll find out. Now, I quickly removed Ergun and I put him back because what we're going to do here is he's injured and he probably wouldn't be sent out. Although, what are his injuries? Let's go back to MegaMek here. Personnel. Alright, where's Ergun? He's a fractured jaw. I think he can pilot a mech with a fractured jaw. We're gonna send him into the field. We're not gonna lose him. So, you know, he's just got this. He's got the neuro helmet on, the big thick neuro helmet on, to protect his jaw. He doesn't even need a cast or anything. And yeah. So we're supposed to scout. March and deploy mine. No, we're not deploying minefields. It's a weird thing that they let their frontline units deploy minefields as their special ability. Like, no, I think that's silly. Done. Oh, we have allies. Oh boy. All right. We don't know what the enemy's up there. Like, we're just supposed to be scouting. Like, what the heck? Here, I'll move this so we can see some of those buttons. Put that down. There we go. And air gun. We're going to plop you there and just move you to those heavy woods. Edith, we're going to... Well, we're going to plop you in heavy woods. There you go. All done. Right now we have our damaged and not repaired jumping Ostrok that we will plop right there. And our damaged still Crusader plopping right there. Now let's check for a second here. What is it? What does it actually say again in the mission? So going back to Mech HQ. How does it say we're supposed to scan? Command Lance for at least 12 turns. No salvage, no unnecessary detection, stealth and discretion. Okay. Like, does that mean if we just stay over here, Princess won't do anything? Let's find out. I mean, we've built a firing line on this hill in heavy woods, so if Princess does nothing, we're great. Princess sending stuff forward, we're also great. Though your gun was supposed to move to heavy woods. Skip, skip, skip. And we have nothing in range. I mean, our allies are just sort of running forward sillily. All right. Let's go. Bot commands. All right. Priority target. We can't set that. There we go. Fall back. Please fall back. There you go. I want you to move there. Yeah. Everybody else is going to stay stationary. All over again. And our ally still managed to charge forward. Very sillily. Their gun is no shots. Ostrich no shots. Let's switch back here. So we want range high low. No shots. Range high low. LRM. Yep, just out of range. No shots. Done. Well, our allies ran forward in their light mechs and caught the enemy attention. So we're going to go back. Bot commands. We're going to tell them to retreat south. There you go. Turn around, lead them towards us. We're in the firing line. Let's draw PPC first. Boom. Honestly, hiding behind here for partial cover is better than just being in light woods. So, boom. Banana peel. Stay still in woods. Now look how they're all positioned on this line here, except for menu. Yeah, now's a good time to take a look at our foes. We have Crisis in a Scorpion. 3-4. We have Panama in a Locust. 2-3. I mean, 2-3s would be scary, but it's a Locust. I'm not particularly afraid of a 2-3 Locust with 2 medium lasers and 2 machine guns. We have our ally in a Locust, who's named Menu. Oh, only 2 machine guns and 1 medium laser. Okay. We have Time Zone, the Wasp. Interesting. Poultry, the Shadowhawk. Abacus. Abacus the Scorpion. Got it. 3-4. Pepper. And another Shadowhawk. 3-4. Phosphorus. Is that a dragon? No, Phosphorus the Grasshopper. Aye, 2-3. Okay, a 2-3 Grasshopper, that's kind of scary. That's the biggest target on the field. That is the thing that must die. And we have... Oh, so it's a Grasshopper. Those are hard to kill. Then we have Starman, the Fire Starter. Phosphorus is a good name for a Fire Starter, not a Grasshopper. And 3-4. Yeah. Now I'm curious... Anyone else looking at the splash screen, or is my YouTube broke? I forgot to switch it back. That is on me. That is totally on me. Thank you, Galahad. Yep, nope. I was narrating what you couldn't see. So, during the movement phase, I set my ally on a retreat using the bot commands. It looks like they are moving backwards, except I think Menu is the first one on our team to move. So, here we have Panama the Locust, Crisis the Scorpion, Time Zone the Wasp, Poultry the Shadowhawk, Pepper the Shadowhawk, Abacus the Scorpion. I don't know why I find Abacus the Scorpion so funny, but I do. Phosphorus the Grasshopper. That's the scary guy. That's the 2-3. That's the guy we got to be worried about. A brick of armor with gunnery skills. Starman in the Firestarter, which again, Firestarter should be named Phosphorus. Starman, the elite grasshopper, kind of makes a little bit more sense than Phosphorus in my opinion. And we have Fortune Cookie over here in another Shadowhawk, 3-4. Lots of Shadowhawks. Lots of Shadowhawks. But okay. We are in the firing phase and we have no targets for the PPCs, so we're going to skip. We have no targets for the PPC, skip, no targets for the PPC, skip, and longbow. See how they're all onto some of this firing line here, trying to avoid being shot at. All right, Menu, you're screwed. Menu's not gonna have a good time and fell over. Yep. Menu missed the sign to retreat and is dead. Yep. Shot all through the core. Alright, firing line here, Marauder. Like again, our allies are supposed to retreat off the south edge and draw them forward. We are just going to maintain the firing line. Because we have heavy woods and hills in our favor, and they are a bunch of not heavy mechs. Shooting phase already, look at that. And again, they're occupying this interesting sort of firing line formation. Generally, that's going to be to try to avoid being in range. So, yeah, nothing is currently in range of our guns. So we are just going to skip. I'm not even going to look at the fighting phase because they decided on our allies and we'll figure it out later. It looks like they all tried to shoot at Cog and Cog is fine. Alright. Again, we are just going to stand still as part of a firing line while the allies retreat back and draw them into the line of fire. There we go. Crisis is moved. We have a target. And it is a Scorpion. Ooh, not quite. Just slightly out of range. Just... Ooh, zoomed out here. Just out of range. Ostrock. Here we go. PPC. You can shoot the rear of Panama here. It's on 11, but you've got the heat sinks. You're fine. Then we have air gun. No shots. Crusader here. Gordana Banana. That's also 11s in the rear of that Locust. Yeah. Why not? And Edith has 12s. Now, this is curious. So, gunnery skill +2, strong gale. That's what's getting us. +1 gravity, 3 target move, +4 long range. We have limited ammo, so I'm not wasting ammo on 12s. Yeah. So, firing line with the weather conditions is kind of annoying. Here we go. Air gun. Our best shot is going to shoot that Scorpion on 8s. And we're going to do solid shot here. Done. Keep firing. Shoot the better target. I think that locust, is that the locust that's 2-3? Yeah, that's the locust that's 2-3, so if it gets close, it could be more annoying, but 10s or 9, you have a 17 and a 28. I mean, it's just better to shoot the 9. 9 is, essentially 28, 1 in 4. 17 is 1 in 6. That's just a significant better shot. And with everyone else shooting the Scorpion, 8's 42. That might open up some armor, so it's worth the shot to see if we can get some criticals with the clusters on the longbows. All right, your gun shoots first. We have 2 PPC hits. We have all 3 hits. The PPC, and the solid slug from the LB10 hits the rear leg, right torso, and rear left leg, and strips the armor on 2 of those legs. So let's see if anything else hits. Hopscotch misses with PPC. Gordana Banana missed with her PPC. We do have a hit from the longbow, so we do break through armor on the right torso, destroys the PPC and the SRM6, so that's good. We get a hit to the head, that's good. Hit the right torso, 7 structure remaining, yes. Definitely worth shooting that LRM to get that effect. Physical, Scorpion. Yeah, our allies are not doing well. Our allied Wasp, Cog, lost a leg. So, probably going to be the primary target. Although, thankfully, Cog is kind of behind a hill here. So, Crisis and Panama can still shoot. Your gun, you're just going to twist. So the thing about 2d6 is, generally speaking, each modifier you add on top of other modifiers, it becomes generally better than the last one. So because we're fighting in low gravity in a gale, that is already a base +3 to a lot of shots, base +2 or +3 to a lot of shots. And so standing stationary in heavy woods like this longbow, you're looking at a base +4 or +5 to all shots. And because you can stay stationary, you magnify that because you're not adding the 1 or 2 for running. So, plus we have better gunnery and piloting in general. So as they charge us, their shots are going to be way worse. So where we might be shooting on 8s or 9s, possibly 10s, they're going to be shooting on 11s or 12s. Time to shoot. Their gun has targets of Panama and Starman. We're going to shoot Panama. And just with the PPCs, because we don't want to use up ammo on a bad shot here. Plus missiles and other weapons. Excuse me. Yeah, if you look, the PPC is not affected by the strong gale, but it is affected by blowing sand. Nasty weather on this one. We have 9s. Oh no. Edith, you're gonna shoot Crisis. You're gonna murder. We know you. We know you're aggressive. Alright. Right leg destroyed on Panama. Yep. That's not good for a Wasp. Panama the Wasp shoots at... Excuse me. Panama the Locust shoots at our Wasp. Cog. I got that was reversed. So, yeah. Cog is gonna die. Cog is not doing well. Alright. Scrolling through. The real problem with Taiga, Cog doesn't need that leg. And what particles does a PPC use? I don't know. What particles do a PPC use? Is that a pun? Is that a joke that's coming? I wait in anticipation of hoping for a dad joke. Alright. So the worst thing about these types of missions with all of these extra effects. So we're playing with low gravity. We're playing with gale. We're playing with strong winds. The more, like I said, the more conditions you add, the more modifiers you add on top of each other, the worse things can get, and it generally ends up being kind of a slog. Yep. Cog didn't need that leg, but Cog might need to stay awake. Yep, destroyed by ejection. Yeah. And now you look, everything's forward, but we don't see the scary thing. Where's the scary guy? Where's Phosphorus? Out of range. Phosphorus is out of range. And we've got... I think the most annoying thing is Abacus with the PPC. I don't like enemy PPCs. I don't. PPCs and large lasers. So we're going to fire at Abacus. Yeah. D Townsend. I thought you were going to go with the projected kind. No joke, just a lore question. So generally PPCs in lore just essentially fire, I believe it's just like moisture, like vapor. You can check Sarna, but effectively they just take particles out of the local environment, typically moisture out of the air. It's kind of what they do with the fusion systems, if I remember. Hopscotch for the PPC. Abacus is a 9. Nothing is closer. We're just gonna all shoot at Abacus. Focus fire. Ooh, what happened here? Did I accidentally turn off failed fire? Yeah, oh yeah, R. I put the wrong button. Yes, Abacus fire. Done. Alright, Gordana Banana, who are you shooting? You're also shooting Abacus? Yes, you're also shooting Abacus. Also shooting with a PPC. Jeez. Edith in the longbow. You're the only without PPCs here. And are you going to be shooting LRMs? Yes. Yes, you're going to be shooting LRMs. Alright. Phosphorus. Yeah, does hit our friend in a fire javelin. No nickname. No nickname in that guy. Hit to the 9 on 5 and get to critical with 3 damage into the left torso. Okay. Oh, look at this. PPC. Air gun hits on the front right leg. Critical. Hits on the lower leg. 1 internal structure remaining. Hits the head. Ooh, we were just shy of blowing it off. No critical. Alright, that does mean we might want to be doing... cluster shots in the future on that thing. Lots of misses, lots of misses. Our ally Fire Javelin does shoot at Abacus the Scorpion, gets to double critical on the front right leg, and lots of misses everything else. Okay, so we do knock over the Scorpion. So it took so many leg crits. Here we go. Maintain the firing line. Princess is afraid to enter it, and that's kind of to our advantage, because if she just charged with everything, we might be out of luck. But because things are kind of playing, you know, cowardly on the edge and not just charging in, it means we can pick things off. Panama blacks out. Alright, got a gun. You have shots. Is Phosphorus in the fight yet? Phosphorus is way out of the fight. Abacus isn't doing great. Time zone. What's time zone? Time zone is a wasp. I still think we shoot. We do clusters on Abacus, because we just need to hit with 1 cluster bullet into the head, and it's dead. It's got 1 structure left. Perfect reason to fire cluster. All right, PPC. Ooh, he'll see it's coming. And then on. Sorry. Need a mute button for that. All right, Abacus. All right, PPC and Abacus. We're just gonna do it. Gordana Banana, do everything's at longer range. PPC into time zone. Because time zones are dumb. Do we shoot Abacus? No. Don't shoot time zone. Alright, there we go. Front right leg destroyed. Transfer. We miss with the important gun. Need 7, roll 6. Boo! Boo! Alright. Starman. Our allied fire javelin is kind of taking some heat, but we're doing okay. Oh, yeah. Not only is it taking some heat, it's dishing out some heat. So that fire javelin you just mentioned just got a kill on Panama the Locust. And scrolling through lots of misses. Gordana Banana does hit Time Zone the Wasp with a PPC, knocks out a heat sink. And Edith also firing. Oof, that's a nasty shot. So hits with one of the LRM-20s. Hits with 12 missiles, does get a gyro and an engine crit, just blasting through that thing. So that's not doing great. Yeah, our firing line is holding up pretty darn good here. The only thing we have to worry about is Phosphorus, and Phosphorus is being a little cowardly doodle butt over here. It's running away. The one good thing we're afraid of on the enemy forces, running away. Haven't even been checking the BV amounts going forward here. But we should be doing good. Skip all turns. Okay. Time zone tries to stand up with it. There's certain one thing about Princess is, generally speaking, if you get a gyro hit, you might as well just call the unit destroyed, because they are just going to keep attempting to stand up every time. Wasp stands up, needs an 8, fails, falls, destroys its right torso, tries to stand up again, hits it, gets another engine hit, gets the head hit, blacks out. Shouldn't be trying to stand, should just be ejecting. But yeah, against Princess, a gyro hit on most enemy units is just, you might as well just count it destroyed. Alright. Abacus the Scorpion. We're going to try again with Ergon. See if we can get that magic BB, but I don't think we need to fire at it with anything else. Starman, I'm going to shoot you. Starman, the fire starter. Starman's going to start fires. It's called a space laser. Alright. Longbow. See, you're running low on ammo. So we're just skip firing. No, we don't get the magic BB. But we do some nasty damage. Fire Javelin continues to be kind of just a house and gets some crits on Abacus the Scorpion. Starman the Firestarter does shoot a whole bunch at our friend the Fire Javelin. Not too much to report. Does get a head hit, but there's still armor. We miss with PPCs, and the Abacus the Scorpion blacks out. Alright. Physicals. Their Firestarter kicks our Fire Javelin. Hits the arm. Our Javelin punches their Firestarter and hits on the leg. Alright. Piloting rolls. Our allied Fire Javelin falls over, sadly. Boo. Alright. Running away is good, yeah. The one enemy unit we're afraid of running away is definitely a good thing. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, I should check the... Let's look at the round report here. They are at 72%. Like... And And we're just mowing them down as they come closer. In fact, I'm more worried about using ammo too fast than I am about taking damage too fast. So, yeah, because our two primary targets here are both immobile. Your gun does kind of want to... No, we can't salvage anything no matter what. Why even bother? We're just gonna try to core these things out, get them off the field. Alright, phosphorus shoots at our friend the fire javelin, hits. CT. Alright, time zone, the enemy wasp is destroyed. Fire javelin, still wrecking house. 4 medium lasers, just poom poom poom. I want that guy. I like that guy. Pilot is just a 4-5, just a standard 4-5. And he's doing good. That's a solid thing. 696, 4 medium lasers. Boom. Great guy. Doing work. Doing work, and we got a jam plan. Man, cowards. Is this the AI that's supposed to be non-engaging? Is this a scouting mission? At what point do we say we have enough data? You know what? It's now. Now we're gonna say they are supposed to be 12 rounds. Round report? Round 12. Yeah, we made it 12 rounds. I'm just doing /victory. We got enough data. We're not gonna get salvage. We don't care. The power of the average man exemplified. Yeah. Yeah, this fire javelin just doing work. Alright, put up the pause screen. And remember to turn off the pause screen. That's the trick. The trick is to remember that. Alright. Switching over to Mech HQ here. I control the field. We didn't take any damage. So the moderate damage is from the previous. Alright. Yep. Locust. Yep, we're good. Cool. Alright, briefing room. We do have the irregular force suppression. Getting the XP from mech warriors, yeah. So we do have the regular force suppression, which, yeah, enemies do not have a lot of BV. Irregulars, like just our allies with their 6,000 BV, kinda out BV the enemy. So in theory, this shouldn't be too much of a hassle. If it's the same map that we played the past 2 irregular force missions on, I might just GM skip it because that's just silly. We'll see. Alright, start. Local insurgent forces are receiving direct military support in this region. Yada yada yada. We've done irregular stuff before. Kill the insurgents. Be a DCMS soldier. That's what we're doing. Now, the most annoying thing is the fact that our allies are red and our enemies are green, blue, and pink. I wish we could change. Change the color. Change the camo. Bot settings. No. Team 1, Team 1, Team 2. Yeah, I think the only thing you can do is add another player and move everything to it, but yep. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Nothing interesting to report here, so we're gonna click I'm done. Load it up. Yeah, if we look, Team 1, that's us, 11,281 BV. Team 2, 5,471 BV. So we have more than double, and this is not the same map, but it is another pain in the ass nightmare map, including this garbled butt of a bridge. Oh boy. Construction factor 64. So, ooh, they have an enemy mech, a Victor, that just spawned here. Great. Alright, awesome. On a hill in woods. Oop. Apparently Z reset the zoom. Alright. I'm trying to hit the shift, deploy. Our other awesome, right there, deploy. And our wyvern. Yeah, we'll deploy you over here. Done. I mean, Tiger Tail right here, interesting enough. This the guy alone. Yeah, this is their enemy mech commander. 1,823 BV. That is getting pretty darn close to half of their BV for their entire enemy force in one unit. So we're just gonna let our allies move. There we go. The Victor hid. Now there's no possible way for our awesomes to shoot at it. I forgot about that part. Definitely should have moved them right over there. But that would have put the Victor in minimum range and us in range of his AC-20, so maybe not. Yeah, look at this weird. If I turn off isometric mode, unit overview, isometric view. Yeah, if we turn off isometric view, it's a bit better. Those weird shadows should go away in a second or something. So, yeah, if you turn off isometric view, the weird bridges make a lot more sense. I do like having it visually because it makes things more sort of obvious from your perspective on YouTube. They earn their pay, or are they paying you? Yeah. All right. And we just have no shots with anybody. No, so when we kill that commander, I'm just gonna call it. Yeah, you do Charger versus Victor. Victor's gonna win that one. But yeah, here's actually the next question though. Right leg, left leg. Okay, it has jump jets in its legs and center torso. Right now it only has jump 2, and it is currently in depth 1, level -2. Ooh boy. I don't think you can jump out onto, because you can only jump the height, so it jumped 2. Level -2, depth 1, technically level 3. It can't jump back up here. So our awesomes are going to have to move. Try to get a position to shoot at it. Yep. Indie button down here, next target if you want to try to... But we've got nothing. And they spawn some stuff up here. What do you think about jump jets? Jump jets can be really good. The catch with jump jets is they really significantly alter a unit's battle value. So battle value, their speed factor multiplies it, and it's based off of their running movement plus their jumping movement. I forget exactly. We did an episode on our podcast about BV, and my co-host there, Luke, did a bit more of a detailed presentation, but it ends up really amplifying your weapons BV. And certain units, they either don't have enough jump or too much jump, or they have a weapons load that doesn't take advantage of it. Then the other catch is, in a lot of future tech, you end up with units with a stupid amount of jump, pulse lasers, and targeting computer. And once you start hitting jump 7 or 10, where you're getting that extra TMM on top of it and using the pulse to negate that, you're forcing the 2d6 curve so far in your favor that the BV the extra BV you're paying for it doesn't quite compensate and ends up being a bit unbalanced. So, in terms of jump jets, do I like them? Yes. Do I like them in every unit? No. Is Cheddar smiling and making noise behind me? Also, yes. Alright. So Tiger Tail fell and stood up, or was going to try to stand up. Part of the weird zooming around. It tries to zoom over to the unit that's moving, and then it just moves. Okay, great. Tiger Tail managed to jump into his spot. We're blasting it. Oh. Oh, it tried to cross a bridge, and it fell into a watery grave. Mumbo Jumbo, the dump truck, fell into a watery grave. Also, Mumbo Jumbo is a great name for a dump truck driver. All right. Obviously, we're shooting everything we possibly can into Tiger. Oh, that's a 2 at a 14. No, large laser. Why is it a 14? All right. Start over again. Torso twist. Large laser. What are we looking at here? Lightning storm. Got it. So, for missiles, we have a lightning +1 for lightning storm, +1 for Monogar, +1 for gravity. Yeah. We're gonna kill the commander here. We're gonna kill that Victor, and then we're gonna call it victory. Because, goodness, that is a lot of modifiers. It's gonna be just a slog, fighting through the terrain, fighting through the modifiers. That thing is almost half of their BV, and spoiler, bad. Alright. And Cheddar is whining. Not much to report, lots of misses. That Tiger Tail the Victor hits with a medium laser on Artifact the Warhammer. Here we go, here's our shots. 3 PPCs, all hit. Right torso, left leg, 0 armor remaining on that left leg. Allied Warhammer Yep, there it is. Left torso, 5 damage. Goes internal. Critical hit on the SRM-4 heat-sinking ammo explodes 72 damage. It's dead. It's destroyed. I'm calling that victory because we're not doing another crawl through the weird water caravan stuff on the map, particularly because our awesomes can't cross those bridges at all. Yeah. Yes, I want to save that. Give me a second. I control the field. Undamaged. Alright, let's minimize this so we can see it all. There we go. We're just gonna click enough. They ran away. There you go. Done. Finish. Fantastic. Yes, Cheddar. What do you want? Making that face at me. Can you see it? There she is. Kind of hard to see in the green. Alright. Continue with repairs. Parts acquisition. Order all. Done, done, done. Advanced days. Now the thing is, this is a very short contract, right? This was end date 9/31. We're getting close. Contract ends at the end of this month. So we've already reached the maximum number of 2 support points. There we go. So back to 2 support points. Alright, so we have a frontline breakthrough in 4 days. That should be a nice, just straightforward fight. Now, yeah, the problem is we, for some reason, don't have a lot of backstock of all the stuff we need to repair things. So we are sitting here pretty just sort of, yep, like we don't have armor. And in the hangar we have a Warhammer, an Operable Crusader, and a Victor, undamaged. I think that's our backup Crusader, and I don't know why we have that Warhammer. And we need components. So what we're going to do is repair status, strip. Crusader, repair status, strip. We're going to leave the Victor alone because we believe we bought that Victor specifically for hopscotch. Alright, go back to the repair bay. Instant. Done. See what we do with the... We have no tax available to do salvage. Where's that Warhammer? Alright. Okay, that means it's being done, I believe. Salvage mech right arm, none in stock. Okay, I'm curious why it says that. But let's look at technical. There we go. Stuff has been happening. Great. Advanced day. We have on the 15th, we have 2 more days to strip things of armor and apply that armor in other places. Look at that. List is smaller now. The list is smaller now. We have made improvements. And today's the day. Area of operations. Frontline breakthrough. We are sending our frontline command lance to engage in that. Yes. Yes. And this will be minor engagement. What? Federates, yeah, 9,000 BV minor engagement. Destroy at least 25% of their forces. Okay. I think our training cadre can do that. But let's see how long this frontline breakthrough takes. I'm guessing it'll be the last mission here. Okay. What are you telling us to do? You are tasked with penetrating the enemy's main battle line and advancing beyond their position. The enemy has committed significant forces to this sector, making this a high-risk operation. Your primary objective is to reach the far edge of the engagement zone with at least 50% of your forces intact. If direct passage is impossible, an alternate path to victory is available, routing the enemy by destroying at least 50% of their forces. Expect heavy resistance, as the enemy will not yield ground easily. Their forces are well positioned to block your advance, and delaying tactics may be used to slow you down. Speed, decisive strikes, and tactical maneuvering will be key to achieving your objective. If you can break their formation or force them into disarray, the path forward will open. The enemy will control the battlefield once the engagement concludes, preventing any opportunity for salvage or recovery. This is a mission of mobility and force. Break through or break them. There is no room for hesitation. And Space Force, Industrial Center, yeah, they have a whole bunch of bonuses. Overwhelming enemy ground reinforcements have been detected approaching the area. Okay. Big mechs today. Yeah, we're sending our main force here. This is Ergun and the regular crew. And our ally is sending some nice heavier stuff here. So us and our ally, we're looking at about 16,000. Oh goodness, they have 16,000 just in one of their things. They have another 7,000 on top of that. So they have basically our entire lance's worth of BV on top of our entire force. So yeah, let's just see what happens, right? So our goal is, again, we just need to reach the top of the map. We have higher skilled units. This is light gravity. All right, we're gonna switch. We are switching to MegaMek. We do want the nameplate and display capture. Okay, our gun. All right. All right, so this is in error. I can't switch up the names here. So it should be, so Edith is in the longbow at the bottom. Gordana's correct. So Edith and Sherry have switched for some reason. Fireworks will be glorious. Yeah. Oh goodness, what is this map? And I forgot to look at the weather conditions. Hold on. Hold on. Weather conditions here. All right, dusk, dawn, and clear. Because here's the thing. We got the tactic skill. We have the ability to re-roll this stuff. So, yeah. All right, back to the mission. Resize this so you guys can see. No, I don't want, no, come on. Why are you not, there we go. You want to see some of the buttons in the top of the thing. There we go. All right, we are running to the opposite side of the map. We can deploy minefields. I think that's dumb that I'm allowed to deploy minefields, so I'm not going to do it. And here we go. We have 16,200 BV for our entire force. They have 24,000. Hope you got jump jets. That's a lot of hills. Nope. I think only Hopscotch is jump jets. Everybody else is going to try to run through with assault mechs. Now, there are a lot of hills, so it might be hard to see exactly where we're going, and we are going to be depending on our allies to zoop-de-doop. All right. Now, here's something I've never seen. What is this? What is this spiky thing? That is light woods. Okay, so we have moon space woods. Those are moon space woods. All right. Honestly, I think the easiest thing is literally just to run up this edge. Just run up this edge of the map at full speed. Hopscotch, you're the fastest. You're going to just play off. Longbow, you're the slowest. You move force ahead. All right. Let's take a look at our enemy forces here. We have Potbelly in a Griffin, 3-4. We have Sovereign in a Shadowhawk. Should not. That's a bad combo. Shadowhawks kind of suck and shouldn't be called Sovereign. Deadlift in another Shadowhawk. Undertaker in another Griffin. Lube in an Enforcer. That's definitely not a nickname somebody picks for themselves. He was given the name Lube for some reason. We have Bodkin in a Wyvern. We have a Warhammer guy without a nickname, probably 4-5. Let's let this pop up. I think you get a call sign when you advance. Yep, 4-5. Jazzcoinus. The Thunderbolt, 3-4. Accountant. He is the accountant. If you see nobody, that should be terrifying. But it is just a Crusader. Gas Bag. All right, Gas Bag again. Another call sign that is not self-chosen. Gas Bag the Archer. And finally, Warhead the Wolverine. Lots of 3-4s. Nobody seems to be a 2-3, and we can just run forward here. So this is air gun. I don't mind him running, taking that risk. Hopscotch, you're normally a 8-5, piloting 3. You know, you actually should be good to just run it. Yeah. All right, 4-6, yes, run. Pretty sure this is just going to be kind of an auto win against the AI, just because of the weird terrain. But we'll play it out a little bit just to see if we take damage and can get some interesting engagements here. All right, so right off the bat, and we are going to save this weapon order so we can do this. This might be the last mission of the night. So fire, fire, and that's on 11. So I'm just going to fire the energy weapons. Hopscotch, same deal, energy weapon only. I mean, we're just going to shoot a whole bunch of PPCs at Lube. That seems to be the plan. Particle projectile Lube. Sounds kind of unpleasant. Yep. 11's not wasting ammo. Oh, Lube does hit Edith with a large laser. Alright. And we keep going, and lots of missing. Lots and lots of missing. Physical attack, yeah, no. Their gun's not gonna kick Hopscotch. D. Townsend. He might prove to be slipped. Yeah. And nobody's kicking their friends. I mean, once we hit behind this hill, I think we're out of any danger. The last two things to move here are our bricks. Gordana would risk it. She'd risk it for the biscuit. She's banana peel. She'd risk falling over. We all know this. And our lovely longbow is just gonna run forward. No, we're gonna just do the 5 normal hexes because we are not gonna risk the longbow falling over. Done. Alright. We have targets. Alright. Shadowhawk suck. Not worth it. Potbelly. You have a PPC, don't you? Yes, you do. Deadlift. You're also Shadowhawk. We're not afraid of Shadowhawks. But we do not like enemy PPCs. PPCs are good guns. So we're going to fire our PPCs at their PPC. As much as we can. But right now we can't. Because Hopscotch can't see. Now we have Gordana Banana, who can see and can fire her PPC. Can secondary fire on 12s at Sovereign and has the heat capacity to do so, so we will. And here we have Edith, who has Sovereign on 2 and Lube exactly 7 hexes away on 8s, so yes, we're going to do that. First, we're going to reverse and torso twist, and then do that. And also in range of some of the medium lasers, so we're going to go heat neutral and fire the lasers as well. Alright, Lube shoots our longbow, misses with everything. Their gun hits with one of the PPCs, hits the left torso, not particularly interesting, misses with one. Lots of misses. They're also daring. No, our ally daring. I hate how you can't change the color and that our allies are red. The allies should be cool colors and enemies should be warm colors. This is just gaming logic. Gaming logic 101. Alright. Enemy, Sovereign, shoots our longbow, but it's a Shadowhawk and it deals a total of 5 damage. Yada yada yada. Our ally, the Active and the Champion. That's a good name for a champion pilot. Active. Good call sign. I approve of that one. But he does miss with a whole bunch of stuff, so it doesn't really matter. Gordana Banana does hit with a PPC to the left torso, strips the armor off it on Potbelly the Griffin. And Gasbag the Archer, our enemy archer named Gasbag, fires on our ally Ostal Daring, hits with some missiles. Our longbow fires on Lube, hits with one of the LRM-20s, and that is it. Does not breach armor. Alright. Their longbow fire... No, our longbow. Again, colors are messing me up. Our allied longbow fires at their Thunderbolt, strips some armor, that's about it. Warhead, the enemy Wolverine falls over. And Potbelly, the enemy Griffin falls over. Great. And nobody has any worthwhile melee. I guess technically they can kick the hill or their friends, which is why it's prompting me to see if they want to kick something. But no, we don't want to do that. Alright. Remaining units to deploy, round 6. Wasp, Crusader, Victor, Rifleman, Scimitar, Galleon, and they start on the southwest. So they start behind us. So we are okay for now, as long as we keep moving forward. Yep, their gun, you're going to do the full-on sprint. Their gun's goal is to run forward to get in a good position, then turn around and offer fire support for his allies. That is his mission. So he's probably going to turn around and stop there-ish. Then everybody else is going to go forward, because we have our ally, our friend in the Ostrock, who, yeah, just do that. Boom. Gordana Banana. She's going to risk it for the biscuit all over again. And last but not least, the longbow, who's now safely hidden behind this hill. Alright, Bodkin. What was Bodkin? The Wyvern? Large laser? Yeah, that's a target. Versus Lube with an AC-10. Don't like... Oh, and a large laser. Alright, Lube. You're both the scarier target and the better target. Solid shot is still a 9. And we're low on ammo for that because apparently we're low on ammo. PPC and the medium laser done. Gordana banana. Let's also shoot some stuff. Done. Everybody shoot on slippery Mr. Lube. See what happens. Alright, allies and enemies on other areas of the map are exchanging fire, and nothing particularly of concern. Lube does shoot at Ergun but misses. Ergun shoots back at Lube, hits with 1 PPC and the LB-10 cluster. Currently not enough to proc a piloting skill roll. Moorhead and Daring are exchanging fire. Active the champion misses. Hopscotch misses. Ally misses. Lots of missing happening. Like Gordana Banana misses as well. Then Active, our friend the champion, takes some damage but nothing of concern. And Bodkin the Wyvern shoots at Hopscotch but misses. Not much to report there. No melee. I'm going to switch it up and actually have Ergun and Hopscotch move backwards and set up Gordana Banana to do the same. They're going to now operating in a moving backwards retreat, not retreat, but they're going to move forwards by moving backwards in order to offer firing line support for the slowest unit on the force, which is the longbow. Alright, what do we got here? We have Cheddar snoring lightly in the background. There she is, our lovely co-host, snoring in the background. MegaMek plus just a dog. Got a little puppy. Senior puppy in the corner. Alright, so Ergun has shots on Potbelly and Deadlift. Potbelly is the Griffin. That is a much more valuable target to shoot at, so we're going to do that. We're going to conserve ammo, because I know the contract's almost done, but we seem to be getting an excessive number of missions. Alright. We have Lube, which is a medium range, and Bodkin. And Lube is on a 7, and we have been trying to kill Lube for a minute here, so we're going to continue doing that. Gordana Banana, also PPC at Lube. Done. We have Edith here. Edith is on 8s, going to shoot 2 LRM-20s into Potbelly. Potbelly has taken some damage here. Can I scroll down to see? Scroll up here. There we go. Well, let's just pop this up here. You can see, yeah, the left torso has taken a whole bunch of damage. There's a decent chance we might get some kind of internal here. Alright. Ergun gets the first shot off Potbelly, does hit the left torso, gets 3 internal structure remaining, hits on the jump jet. So yeah, Ergun on second shot hits and gets the most vulnerable location on Potbelly. Lots of missing on the other side of the map. Hopscotch misses with her PPC on 7, which is sad. Deadlift, the Shadowhawk shoots at Ergun but misses with both weapons. Gordana Banana shoots and misses Lube. Lube is being slippery. Potbelly shoots back at Ergun, hits with the PPC. Needs 9, rolls 12, hit center torso. Doesn't come close to stripping the armor, but we don't like seeing that anyway. Allies exchanging fire. The enemy Thunderbolt is taking a whole bunch of missiles, including one hit to the head. The Thunderbolt shoots back, but hits our allied Wolverine. But nothing too interesting. Gas Bag also shoots at our allied Wolverine, hits with some missiles. Our longbow shoots, doesn't hit the open left torso sadly. Does get a possible critical on the enemy center torso, but it doesn't actually connect for critical. And Bodkin Wyvern shoots hopscotch and misses. So, not. This is going to be a bunch more of these sort of, I don't know, kind of not the most thrilling type of engagement here. But this is a lot of what happens in just sort of filler missions in any kind of, strategy RPG kind of game. Like we're going to win. The question is just how much damage do we take while winning? Backwards movement. Boom. Backwards movement. Boom. Gordana banana. Backwards movement. And can we rotate there? There we go. So she can actually run off the map. And our enemies seems to be returning and focusing on other enemies. So, yeah, Sovereign here. I was going to say, this might be the last turn. No, we're going to shoot at Sovereign. We're going to risk it for the biscuit here. Needs 3s. Don't roll a 2, Edith. Don't roll a 2. That's all I want from you. Alright, done. Great. Alright, your gun. Who do you have? Sovereign to shoot at? We're definitely not wasting ammo right now on a Shadowhawk. Hopscotch. PPCs. Done. Gordana banana. Shoot your PPC. Done. And our friend in the longbow. So, in case you didn't know, this is a longbow. It doesn't have arms. It doesn't have, well, it has arms, right? It doesn't have sort of human arms. It has giant missile pods attached to it, which means it can do this cool thing called an arm flip. And see, there's this flip arm button, and watch. Ha! Sovereign is exactly 7 hexes away in the rear. Now, we're almost out of ammo. So we're actually just going to shoot the arm lasers at him. Because I want to save those LRM-20s for something that isn't a Shadowhawk. Alright, your gun hits with both PPCs. Lots of fire exchange to the side of the map. Lube misses our longbow. Sovereign misses Gordana banana. Gordana banana misses Sovereign. Shadowhawk deadlift misses its shots on Edith and the longbow. Edith and the longbow misses the laser shots. The enemy Thunderbolt hits with some nasty criticals. Oof, that's a critical hit. These are even armor remaining. Crit roll 11, 2 locations. Knocks out the LRM-20 on our allied longbow. Well, that sucks, but okay. And return fire here. We have 2 total hits. We got both LRM-20s on that longbow connecting on that Thunderbolt. That's some pain. Yeah, I think sadly I am just gonna have to, because they are getting shots off on us, but they're so low. Yeah, this is gonna be the last turn. I'm calling the victory after this. Because, yeah, the longbow can get off the map next turn. Yeah, we don't have expanded backwards movement, sadly, so. Alright, now, are they continuing after us? Just lube? Just lube? Yeah. Just lube. Alright, let's see if I can do something to lube here. The answer is no for hopscotch. Gordana banana is also a no. Yeah, this is the last round of shooting here. Alright, any damage on us? Boo! Alright, so the Federated Sun's Rapid Response Force. This is turn 6, so the enemy reinforcements did just arrive and kill our friend in the Allied longbow. So that's sad. So obviously our allies are not making it across the map with us, but we take no damage on this last turn, and now we can just obviously escape. So slash victory. Done. Hit the pause screen. Save the GIF. Save the GIF. Done. And Mech HQ. There we go. I control the field. Yep. Undamaged. Yep. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. And it went to my desktop for some reason. Hey, there we go. Yep. Lots of throwing spaghetti at the wall indeed. So, yeah. Not the most exciting. I don't feel like starting the minor engagement just yet. We've played 3 missions in 2 hours, and this wasn't on the 18th. Yeah, we'll at least advance the day up to this new mission. Do some repairs, check out our personnel. Advance 1 more day. Let's take a look at our mech warriors and their XP. So we have Edith here, who's a 2-3. And like I said, I don't like making my pilots better than 2-3. I like taking whatever experience they have at this point and giving them SPAs, because the game doesn't count the BV adjustment for your piloting skills for both you and your opposition forces. They just, you know, assign of like if you look, we're a veteran force, so when you're up against a veteran force, there's going to be a lot of 3-4s and so on. So by making your pilots 1-2s or 0s, you're kind of moving forward to an unbalanced position against the game. Even if you're playing against an elite force, they're going to be 1s and 2s, but that can be compensated with by SPAs, and SPAs are kind of cooler because they're more specific and more tailored, possibly more overpowered. So with Edith here, spend XP, current abilities. What do we got as potential? Multitasker, human TRO. I liked human TRO. Human TRO gives you you'll see here, the human TRO has studied a given type of battlefield unit, giving the pilot a bonus when rolling critical hit. This applies a +1 when determining criticals for the specific type of unit. And considering she is shooting all this stuff, but we do also have Sandblaster LRM-20, which is pilot with this ability gets a +4, +3, or +2 to the cluster table at short, medium, or long/extended range respectively, but only with a specialized weapon. I kind of don't mind specializing someone in LRM-20s, though I'm thinking LRM-15s are actually kind of more optimal in terms of ammo expenditure and whatnot. We might, when this contract ends, she might be closer to that 95 experience, and we can switch out to multiple LRM-15s. Those are also a lot easier to fit in things, so switching her over to that, I think, as a dedicated fire support is kind of cool. Ooh, combat sense. Your reputation increased by 1 of this character's campaign. Commander pilot who has combat sense rolls 3 dice per initiative check, keeping the top 2 rolls. Ooh. Nice. Blind fighter, Bloodstalker is cool. This unit has a +1 bonus against designated target, but a +2 penalty against all others. Can only be used once per battle. I do also like, oh, we can just give her cluster hit arrows, +1 to cluster hits table, which is just more useful. Things to start thinking about. So Sherry already has some SPAs. Hopscotch. Where is it? Jumping Jack. Yeah, she's the one with Frogman. Can move faster in depth 2 or greater water. So she's better at moving through water. And Jumping Jack. So she's already freaking fantastic at jumping. So I don't know what to give her next. Gordana. First of all, she's a gunnery 2, piloting 3. So she hasn't maxed out that yet. What can we... Current skills, gunnery. Yep. We can advance it. Boom. She's now a 2-3. She is elite. She's on top. Alright, so Sherry at 74. She is a 3-3. We can probably advance her. There we go. She is a 2-3. Kind of boring a little bit that everybody's a 2-3, but I think Ergun is special as the commander, where he is... Yes, he's a 2-3, but I think he's currently at a penalty, because if you look... Yeah. He's a... I think he's technically a 1-2 when he's not horribly injured, because if you see that blue arrow, I don't know, but in any case, you've got all that. We have Grace. We have all of our secondary guys here. Arso, if we remember, is kind of a butthole. Fractured limb, left knee fractured. Yeah, he's not having a good time here. And Ergun is still healing. So hopefully this is, yeah, the 18th. This contract runs to the 30th. We're hoping this is going to be the last one. We hope we finish this contract the next time. And that is going to be it for tonight, everybody. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a great night.